Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at another of these very cool Terra by Battat figures that are currently for sale on Amazon and in Target stores. I am a huge fan of the Terra by Battat line, so anytime I get to look at another one of their figures, it's a good day. This is a really cool looking version of a Ceratosaurus, probably not the most scientifically accurate, definitely not the most up-to-date look for a Ceratosaurus, but nonetheless a really cool looking figure. This figure was actually released ages ago, but then re-released by Terra by Battat for their newest line with a really nice repainted appearance, and I really think it looks quite beautiful overall. Again, the sculpt is, like I said, quite outdated as it was released a long time ago. It's still a very highly detailed, really cool looking Ceratosaurus, so let's go ahead and get a closer look at it right now. So taking a look at the head sculpt, you can see that there is a lot of color variation throughout, really giving it quite a striking appearance with nice reddish brown type of a coloration along with some black spots here and there. And you also have a nice orange up here for the nasal horn of the Ceratosaurus with kind of a stripe through it. Looks very cool, very striking. I think the eye is painted okay. It's a little sloppy. You can see the same ordeal on this side, but primarily it's a nice coloration that they chose for the eye. I think it really sticks out and kind of makes the eye jump out at you. I feel like, however, the eye might have been painted a little bit too large and in turn causes the head to look a little goofy, but at the same time it's still pretty nice looking considering how long ago this figure was made. You can also see the crests up here on the top of the head. They're primarily an orange color, similar to what you see on the nasal horn here, but they're just a little bit sloppy as far as the paintwork goes. Very nicely sculpted nostrils, and this Ceratosaurus is sculpted with its mouth closed, which is pretty cool because you don't see that too often when it comes to most carnivorous theropods and stuff like that. It's usually given a very menacing look. That's not what we see here with the Ceratosaurus, and you can see the teeth kind of coming out over the jawline of the lower jaw. It looks really, really cool. The teeth are painted quite nicely as well. There's no sloppiness to them or anything like that. As we lead down the neck, you can see lots of bumps and everything all over the body. Very large kind of scoots and osteoderms. As we do come down into the neck, you can see a little bit of hanging skin here in the throat. There's the shoulder blade protruding from the skin there, and then we come down into the arm. You can see the arms and hands look to be sculpted quite nicely, really beautiful paint application on the nails. It is odd, however, that one arm is pronated and one is not. I don't know why, but again, it's a very outdated sculpt, so we can always let that go and let that slide. Nice detailing here of the stomach region. Beautiful skin texture as we lead back into the stomach. Nice kind of skin wrinkling there as the leg here is pushing into the body, bunching that skin up. You can see the hip bone there, and along with those very nice scoots, similar to what you would see on like a Carnotaurus. And again, the same deal up here on the ridge line of the spinal column. It looks really cool, helps to give it a bit of a striking appearance. Nice muscle tone here in the thigh, and you can see lots of skin wrinkling going on in there as well. You've got a very nicely sculpted kneecap there. Beautiful, very large bulging calf muscles. As we move down into the foot looks nice as well, really bird-like, beautifully painted nails. You do have a dew claw back there, which is also painted. Nice to see that they did not skimp out on that. And then you've got the tail as we come out here. Really nice skin wrinkling and everything throughout the tail. Beautiful creases in the skin, and it gets a nice striping here at the end of the tail just to give it that little extra bit of flashiness. And then if we take a look at the opposing side, you can really see kind of like the skin stretching and everything in the neck, but also kind of the neck flexing right here with that skin fold and everything, a little bit of hanging skin there in the throat. It looks really, really cool, honestly, from this side. Beautiful osteoderms again as we run down the neck, and we can see some really nice sculpting of the skin texture, the shoulder blade once again, and then there is the sculpting of the hand on this side. Looks a little bit sloppy, but not too bad. You got the skin stretching here off of the body as this leg is pulling the skin and stretching it, so there was some really nice attention to detail there from Dan LaRusso. Very nice skin texture in the stomach region once again, and actually up here on the mid-back area. Nice hip bone there. Beautiful musculature once again in this leg when it comes to the thigh and calf region. Very nice kneecap, and there's the foot sculpt over here. Feel like it looks a little weird, but not that bad. Again, like I said, probably about 3 or 4 times already, it's a bit outdated, so we can't look at this as far as scientific accuracy goes. Unfortunately, this figure was made quite a while ago. Dan LaRusso has actually passed away since then, so he never had a chance to resculpt a newer updated version of Ceratosaurus, but I have 100% confidence had he had the option to, it would have been a beautiful sculpt yet again. Even this very vintage looking Ceratosaurus in my opinion looks great. And then we run out the length of the tail, and it looks really good as well. Beautiful creasing and everything the whole way out. You've even got a cloaca here on the underside for a bit of scientific accuracy when it comes to that. Really trying to make it anatomically correct. I like the paint scheme. I think it looks really cool, but the paint looks kind of more like paint than it does as far as body color goes, so it's not my favorite paint scheme as far as what a Terra by Battat figure has. However, it's not that bad either, and definitely helps to give it a very cool appearance as far as a flashy look, but the tones of color they've used, it's pretty natural looking honestly, and something I could probably see a Ceratosaurus being, so really nice choices. It's just maybe the paint application isn't that great, but regardless, it's still a really cool looking Ceratosaurus. As far as the size goes, from the head to the tail, you're looking at about 6¼ inches in length, or about 16 centimeters, and for a height, about 3¼ inches, or about 8½ centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, Robert Muldoon in the Attack Pack Colovosaurus from Mattel, right here next to our Ceratosaurus from Terra by Battat, and you can definitely see that the Ceratosaurus is a much smaller figure. Really quite small. Honestly, it's probably a little smaller than a medium-sized figure, so it's definitely close to the actual small range, I would say. It's not a mini or anything. It does still have some decent size, but it's not even what I would consider a medium-sized figure. But at the same time, it's really quite nicely sized and does pack quite a bit of punch as far as the detailing goes. For the price that you would pay, it's a really beautifully sized Ceratosaurus for the cheaper price. So this Terra by Battat Ceratosaurus may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I really do have a soft spot for it in general because I am a huge fan of Dan LaRusso and the work that he provided us over his years with Battat figures, and I really think that they all were beautiful in their time, and I can still appreciate a very cool, very vintage look when it comes to a Ceratosaurus even nowadays. Again, it's not the most scientifically accurate Ceratosaurus, and it does have a little bit of a goofy look to it in certain aspects, but I really do quite like it, and I think the paint application, like I said before, looks really cool. It's definitely a nice color choice as far as the overall color scheme goes, and the idea behind it looks really cool, especially with the nice striping on the tail, and the color tones they've used looks really good, really natural. It's just I think that the application of the paint was a little bit iffy to me. It doesn't really look that good, but again, not that bad either. It's definitely not bad enough that I think it should deter anyone from picking this up because it's a really cool figure, and again, being a Terra by Battat figure sculpted by Dan LaRusso, you know it's got a really cool place in the history of dinosaur figures, and something that I think personally everybody should go ahead and pick up because it does look really cool in person, and it is a very nice looking Ceratosaurus. So I will link you guys in the description to Amazon where they are actually selling this along with a few other figures in a nice box set where you can buy quite a few Terra by Battat figures all at once. A really, really good deal currently from Terra by Battat on Amazon. So make sure you head over there, check the description, go buy this very cool Ceratosaurus. But before you do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.